My name is Jillene Gallatin, and I volunteer with Patriot Assistance Dogs. And so I'm going to take a few minutes to share a little bit about our story. So for me, PAD embodies just this wonderful opportunity to partner retired military personnel and rescue dogs. I have deep respect for our military personnel, men and women who have given so much of their lives, some sacrificing all. And so any way that we can show our respect to them and our gratitude for their service is an opportunity that we all should look for. Also then with dogs, I have a great appreciation of dogs, just their caring personality, their demeanor to want to, well, they're man's best friend. And so when you put military and dogs together with an organization that helps make a difference for military folks who live with post-traumatic stress disorder or traumatic brain injury, it's an organization that I am proud to be a part of. A little bit about our history and how we got involved with PAD is growing up, my husband and I never really had any connection to the military. Nobody in our family nor any of our close friends had ever served, but I have always had, like I've said, so much respect for these men and women who have served. This is Roka. You'll see him a little bit later as we go along here. He's one of the dogs that we're currently fostering. So any opportunity that I have had to show my appreciation for men and women who have served, I've tried to go out of my way to at least thank them. And then growing up, my husband's family had dogs. We had dogs. Our own kids were raised having dogs around. Another reason for my involvement with PAD is when I was 14, my mom took her life, and I have spent most of my life trying to figure out why and what if. And for me, I just hurt when I know that people feel such despair and loneliness and hopefulness. And anything that we can do to help bring purpose and hope, no matter how that is time well spent, energy well spent, especially when it can save the lives of the men and women who have saved our lives, who have given us freedoms that we probably take for granted. So again, PAD brings together those opportunities to give a dog purpose, give a person purpose. Years ago, I had seen a video of a veteran who shared a little bit of his story, and I've always been moved by it. He said something like, his life with post-traumatic stress disorder left him feeling just like a shell of a person, half of a person. And he knew of dogs who were rescue dogs. These dogs had been rejected. And he said something like, you take two rejected people, creatures, a dog and a man, and put them together, and they are complete. And I thought, I want to be a part of that. I want to be part of an organization that gives hope and purpose to military personnel and hope and purpose for dogs. And PAD does that. A couple years ago then, again, this kind of ties in our involvement with PAD. A couple years ago, our youngest son said that he wanted to serve in the military, and he wanted to become a Marine. That was huge for all of us. He has, in the last few months, become a Marine, and we are so proud of him. We are proud of his older brother who shows his support to his younger brother and to us. And so in some respects, we're kind of a military family, and we're learning more about all that these men and women do in service to our country. So helping to foster dogs is a way that we can support him and so many others as they are on the front lines, keeping us safe. So yes, we are now empty nesters, and over the past year and a half, we've had the opportunity to foster 5 different dogs. Our connection with Pad first started when we adopted Xander, who was one of the first Pad dogs. He was 9 at the time, and he had completed his service as a military dog, and I began learning more about Pad through Nora, another volunteer. Got to know Paula as one of the trainers. Also got to know Sarah, another trainer, and Linda, kind of the head of Pad. And as I learned more about what they do, I've just become more fascinated and looked for new opportunities, new ways that we can share about Pad's mission and help these dogs. So as I said, we've worked with 5 different dogs, and I think that's a great highlight and joy for me is each dog has a unique personality. Our first dog was Allie. She was a 78-pound Rottweiler, and somebody asked, "What do you do with a dog that big?" Jokingly, I said, "Whatever you want." Or whatever she wants, whatever the dog wants. So that's been a joy to get to know her, and she's found her purpose. The more that she grew through her training, and when she was partnered with her veteran, you could just see this spark, this bond between the two of them. We've also worked with Jax. He was a terrier, so we went from a Rottweiler to a terrier. And when we first get a new dog, I always get confused of which dog we're working with. So as we're out in public, somebody will ask me, "Oh, tell me about your dog." And with the terrier, I started out by saying, "Well, she's a Rottweiler," and it's clear that she's not a Rottweiler. And then I giggle, and then people say, "Okay, we understand. We'll just give you some space." We've also worked with Scooby. He was a morning dog. Oh my goodness, he loved life, and I'd roll over in the morning and he would just be ready to learn, to get to know more of how he could grow in his training. Another funny thing about Jax is when we have the dogs, when we're out in public, they're working, and they know that because they wear a certain vest. I'll show you that in just a couple minutes. But then when they're home, they get to relax like we do when we're at home. So Jax, when he would have some free time, it wouldn't be long and we would hear thunk, thunk, thunk. Well, Jax loved all things water, and so we would follow the sound of the thunk and find him in the bathroom. He was trying to lift the lid up of the toilet because he was just fascinated by the water. Scooby loved to chase frogs, and so these are all of the things that we as fosters help to train the dogs, that they can't just do that. We teach them things about not to be afraid with vacuums, not to lift their leg on a house plant, to not be afraid when they hear the dishwasher or the washing machine, to go up and down steps, to recognize that a garbage collector comes by, and that's a good thing. When they're out in the yard on a leash, yes, they can have some free time, but they're given specific commands to kind of control their impulses because they recognize that they need to snap into working really, really fast. We teach them comfort skills, getting their nails taken care of, just being with a person all the time. Pretty much as fosters, we have them at night, and on the weekends during the day they work with their trainers at Pad. And so Paula, she's the trainer I'm working with, she'll say these are the things that we're noticing with Roca, the dog we currently have. Work on these things, and these are the skills that we notice and work with as well. So working with these dogs has been so life-giving, again, because it brings together these entities so important of military and dogs, and again allows us to feel like we are making a difference, one dog, one veteran at a time, and we are so honored to be a part of Patriot Assistance Dogs. Thanks for letting me share my story.